I would want to ask you that how different your life would have been without being a part of an active community.
Yeah, I think working in Web3 is almost like working at the internet, right? And this is a new concept that I was introduced to during COVID, where you realize that going to office doesn't matter that much. You can do all of your work from home, right? And of course, you miss parts of office and that. But there's this essay called The Great Online Game by this guy named Packy McCormick, which I would definitely recommend everyone here should read, where he basically says that as things get digitized, life starts it basically starts looking more like a video game than like anything else, where if you hit the right keys in the right order, you end up leveling up, right? So in like a video game, if you play correctly, you go to the next level and the next level. In life, if you hit the right keys in the right order, you can buy a car, you can buy a house, and you can, like, you're making your money on the internet, you're working on the internet and things like that. So I think just moving into that, like working at Web3 is not like, I'm not working at any company right now, right? I'm working with Superteam, which is at its very least is just a Discord server, right? That's it. And it's a group of people who are working in Web3. So I'm working with everyone and with no one at the same time. So for me, I think the biggest change is that it's like I'm working at the internet, which also one shift I've noticed in myself because of that is I'm way more open to newer ideas. For example, like when generative AI exploded with like DALI 2 and Midjourney and like GPT-3 and writing assistants and stuff like that, I was very open to just going and trying all of them out in a way I wouldn't have been if I was at my previous job. I would have just thought of work and non-work, right? So I think when you're in a community, it's like you're, or let me rephrase it this way: it's a person like Packy McCormick, who is like the most well-known business writer in the US now as an independent. He has a small community of people that he invests with, or he speaks to, or he does things like that. Right? So if you believe that your network is your net worth, you can, by being part of and by also contributing to a good community, you can like unlock opportunities that you would have never imagined. You can get experiences you would have never imagined. So yeah, I think it's just life changing.
No, I completely agree. I mean, ever since we also resorted to work from home or work from anywhere culture in our organization, I think that boundary between work and non-work absolutely faded away. And this is primarily the reason I started exploring Web3 in first place, on a very serious note. I mean, in terms of job opportunities as well. And that's pretty much the reason that I'm here. So I completely agree, completely relate to it. What's your viewpoint, Ankur?
Yeah, so I agree with everything Aditya just said, and on just chiming on the boundaries fading away between work and home. I think boundaries in Web3 have faded away globally. So now we're seeing global communities, global businesses, and seamlessly, right? Without, I mean, it's like working on the internet. Your business is on the internet, or your product is on the internet, and anyone in the world can access it. Anyone in the world can own a piece of your project. And for me, like multiple communities do their own thing. So like Raghav gave an example of Bitcoin Bombay, right? So I don't run that alone. We were 5 of us who got together and just put out a message that let's meet on the Bitcoin white paper day. Let's just meet up. Like 5-6 of us meet up. 120 people showed up, right? And we had people who flew down from Delhi. We had people who drove down from Chhattisgarh, from Pune, just because it was Bitcoin Bombay, right? People wanted to meet other Bitcoiners and like have a common discussion and experience what is really happening in the space. So that's the power of the community, and shared knowledge, shared experiences is what I take out of the communities I'm part of. So you learn from other people's mistakes and really expedite your learning. Is something that I really thrive on communities and look for communities that I join.
So basically, at a very fundamental level, I see, of course, what Aditya also mentioned, that it's just a extrapolation of, we've all heard that theory, right? All of this is just a simulation, and maybe we might be in one, maybe we might end up creating one. And I think all of this is just a subset of it, where everything you do is online. We spend more of our times online. I also saw this graph online a couple of days ago, where the time spent online is going up drastically higher, which is why all of these things now make sense. Internet ownership is something that the world has been looking for a while now, and I completely agree to the thoughts these gentlemen have put forth.
Crypto products and NFTs are unregulated and can be highly risky. There may be no regulatory recourse for any loss from such transactions. In case you have any queries, write to support@coindcx.com.